Okay, so here I am at the Lakeshore Campus, which was once known as the Mimiko Lunatic Asylum. Built in the 1890s, its purpose was to be a new innovative cottage-styled sanatorium system that would be a sister location to the provincial Lunatic Asylum at 999 Queen Street West in downtown Toronto, and would also help accommodate the overcrowding that was happening at the many other asylums in Ontario. Even though the focus was for it to be an institution that didn't feel like one, patients were still subjected to what would be considered the barbaric medical practices of the early 20th century, such as hydroshock therapy, electroshock therapy, lobotomies, and more. Not only that, but it housed the same hands that built it, as the capable patients were put into hard labor as part of their treatment, even went as far as them building the wooden coffins and digging the graves that they would be burying their fellow inmates in. "I'm in hell," one of the very few quotable references from an unknown patient. Given its appearance as a leading-edge asylum, violence was still a daily occurrence here. As time went on, almost all the records and documents that had been lost or destroyed and have made collecting the pieces of its history a daunting task. So we get to it with paranormal research because there's been lots of rumors circulating about the past of this place. But with factual evidence and witness accounts of paranormal activity, I'm going to investigate the most popular, such as the nurse. The most famous haunting of Lakeshore Campus is that of the nurse that worked at the asylum. It is said that she had an affair with one of the patients, and after becoming pregnant for no known reason, she decided to end hers and her unborn child's life by hanging herself off an apple tree in the sanatorium's orchard. The same orchard that is rumored to be an unmarked gravesite for early patient deaths, botched lobotomies, and stillborns. Students, security, and maintenance workers here have all encounters of seeing, hearing, and even smelling her spirit as it wanders down the campus property. Seen most notably in the tunnels below, the school's hallways, or staring out the windows of Building G, which is just over my left shoulder. And they say just because you can't see or hear her doesn't mean that she's not watching. There have been reports of an unknown lavender smell, which is said to be her scent that comes with a chilling, watchful presence. Right behind me is the morgue and one of the therapy treatment centers. For this investigation, I will be mic'd up and I will have an additional EVP recorder with me. Right now, I'm gonna put my EMF on. Tonight is eerily chilling, as most times there's been people here, but there really isn't anybody here right now, and it's a lot more creepier. Behind me, the morgue, there's been weird smells coming from it, I'll tell you about it. Because there have been a few accounts of a wretched smell coming from the area of the campus, which used to be the morgue, again, located right behind me. I questioned this too as I began my investigation on my second trip here during a session using the Paralysis app. I know it's weird, but it stinks. Something out here really stinks. It smells foul, like burning. Although no words that came up on the Paralysis app I could really connect with, a foul, awful stench was in the air that I couldn't explain. And I was located right behind Building F, which again is the morgue. The fire of 1978. In the evening of November 18, 1978, almost a month from now, back in 1978, the superintendent received the call that there was a fire at Building C, which is just over there. Then it was called the self-care unit, a co-op building that housed patients who were finishing up their treatment and being ready to re-enter society. Both patients, a 21-year-old Cheryl Richardson, had been trapped in her room by her jealous boyfriend, Leonard Ralph Hill. Hill had set a rug on fire outside of Cheryl's door. The fire killed her by smoke inhalation and burning. It was so hot that it melted the curtains, the mattress, desk lights, and even part of the bed frame to the ground. The room completely black when forensics arrived. It had only one other spot of lighter contrast, and that was underneath where Cheryl's charred remains were removed. Leonard was found a couple nights later on the property trying to set fire to the Cumberland House, which is just across the way. He was tackled, a struggle ensued, and was eventually arrested by police and charged with murder of the second degree. The Cumberland House, during the remaining years in operation at the psychiatric hospital here, the Cumberland House on the property was named after the 7th superintendent and was turned into a children and adolescents unit. A confession of a former Humbers student stated that while she waited after school in class one day, she heard a child singing "Ring Around the Rosie," and when she came into the classroom, there was no one here. How many children have died here and are still playing on the property? I don't know. The cemetery, ignored in life and ignored after death. The final resting place for many of the patients from Mimiko is a sad one indeed. Many who had been left to rot, shamed by their families, and spent their lives at the hospital, left with no resources and nowhere to go when it was their time. With about 1,511 graves total, patients like Cameron Tinkus, who died in 1946, was not the only one who was left to be forgotten. He is buried in an unmarked grave along with 1,350 other patients, both adults and children. The cemetery for Mimiko Hospital only started using markers from 1957 to 1973, and even then only buried its dead under layers of sod. After the asylum closed in '79, it was left unattended until a restoration group consisting of former mental patients restored it back in 2004. The orchard, no longer on the map, is where the nurse hung herself after succumbing to her grief of an affair and pregnancy with a patient here. It is rumored that the orchard was the original unmarked grave site for the hospital, with the remains of abortions, botched lobotomies, and scattered ashes of patients who were sent to the crematorium. And finally, the Powerhouse. Although I could not find any official records of the Powerhouse, actually being the crematorium of the hospital, many people stated that this was once where they took the dead to be cremated. It's worth doing a reading here to see if I get anything. So, with that in mind, we're going to start this investigation for a couple hours and explore those points of interest to see if there's anything that we can come up with. It's definitely a lot chillier out tonight. It's a lot quieter, which obviously puts a very much more eerie sense in the air. So I'm walking around building G right now, which when this place officially opened was the administration building. Hello? Nurse? Are you here? Don't forget, I got my EMF detectors on. I'm going to keep it on at all times, so if it ever goes off, I'll know something's up. This place has now been around for over 100 years. Hello, nurse, I heard you like to hang out here. Are you the nurse that killed herself? Did you hang yourself in the orchard? I heard you often look out these windows. Are you watching over the ground still and some of the patients? Whoa. Hello? Yes. You going off for some reason? Is that you? You can look out the window and say hi to me if you want. You can look after me. It's cool. Did you kill yourself because you're embarrassed about your pregnancy? Turn on the EVP recorder. Is that what happened? You can tell me if you were hurt, if you were embarrassed because you didn't think people would understand that you loved the patient you slept with and you were carrying their child and you thought everybody was going to shun you and you couldn't carry the weight of that grief. Is that why you decided to kill yourself? I understand, I get it. You know? Why are you still looking out? Was lavender your favorite smell? Do you hang out between here and the orchard? I couldn't find your name in any records. What was your name? I'd really like to know your name. I like lavender too. Lavender is a very relaxing smell. I wish I would have brought some for you. Did you enjoy this place? Was it fun working here? Or was it as bad as they said it was? You want to come to the window? Can you come to the window and wave to me? Not sure which window it is that you like to look out of, but I'm out here at the front, underneath where the tower used to be. If there's anything you want to say, you can say it into this thing that's in my left hand here. You want to come out and greet me? Hey? You can tell me if you were hurt, if you were embarrassed because you didn't think people would understand that you loved the patient you slept with and you were carrying their child. You thought everybody was going to shun you. And you couldn't carry the weight of that grief. Is that why you decided to kill yourself? I understand, I get it. You know? you still looking out? Was lavender your favorite smell? Do you hang out between here and the orchard? I couldn't find your name in any records. What was your name? I'd really like to know your name. I like lavender too. Lavender is a very relaxing smell. I wish I would have brought some for you. Did you enjoy this place? Was it fun working here? Or was it as bad as they said it was? You want to come to the window? Can you come to the window and wave to me? Not sure which window it is that you like to look out of, but I'm out here at the front, underneath where the tower used to be. If there's anything you want to say, you can say it into this thing that's in my left hand here. You want to come out and greet me? Hey? Okay, so obviously I couldn't hear anything from that EVP, and no signs of anything yet. But this is only the beginning. Most notably, I guess, there's reports that she could be seen in the hallways here at school, in the tunnels underneath, and supposedly supposed to be looking out of one of these windows. I'm not sure which one, but I don't think she's looking today. Building F became, what I understand, the mortuary, the morgue, if you will, as well as the treatment center for all their therapy, such as shock therapy, insulin therapy, hydroshock therapy, and the very famous lobotomies. And this is Building F. Now, Building F connects to the underground tunnels, and it's said that they use those underground tunnels in case a patient died, so they could run them out without alerting the other patients. And probably run the patient out, if they didn't have any family or anything like that, they'd probably just send them to the crematorium and off they go. So this is Building F. nice, cold, quiet night out here. That's building G right there. That's where we just were. Building F. Levels. I don't know, man. You always get a weird sense. Like, I know there's security here, but besides security, you get like a weird sense that somebody's watching. You don't know what it is or who it is, but they're watching, right? Well, could be the CCTV there that's on the corner. Who knows? Do I start seeing things? I don't know. What the fuck was that? A lot of barbaric medical experiments and tests were done in here. Okay, I got the Necrophonica hooked up to the Bluetooth. We're right out front. The doors here. Last time I was here, you said I was too early. So what happens if we try this now? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here that suffered from... I am trying to talk to you. I'm sorry that you had experiments done on you. Some that killed you. Is there anybody around tonight? Yes? How many spirits? What's that? Yes. You say 8 spirits? There's 8 of you here? Feel what? Insane? What? Yes, my name's Darren. You'll be paid. Whoa. careful. You'll be patient. Holy shit. I swear I just seen like a black shadow or a black orb or something just go right there. It said be patient. This bitch. Trim this bitch. What? Heat. Heat? Heat what? Can you tell me, do you guys know the nurse that hangs around here? What? No, yes, you, the nurse, the one that's living in grief. Are you not just by that window there? Hmm? I get. What else? Did you guys go away? Are you gone now? Like I said, last time you said I came too early. Am I still too early? What? Wait. Thank you, and hold on. What? What? Detroit? Detroit, are you talking about the son of that man named Tinnis? Yes? Retired? Literally just heard something move right beside me. Who's here? Hello? How are you? I'm fine. How are you? Yeah, I know. This whole building is full of pain. It's where you were tortured, right? Experiments done on you? I'm not cross with you, no? Who's here with me now? Who's here with me now? Doug? Is this Doug? Torture. I know it's torture. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop it here. All right. Who was right beside me there? Are you still there? I swear I heard something move right by that door like a minute ago. That was interesting. At one point it sounded like something moved right beside me. Right on, like by those steps, on top of those steps, right by the app. And we got quite a few words that came out of there that we were looking for in this area, such as torture and pain, because as we know, this was their spot for a lot of those therapy sessions, lobotomies, hydroshock therapy, where they'd submerge the patients in ice cold water for hours on end. A lot of pain in there. Building F. Not to mention, it's where the mortuary used to be too. It's getting cold and chilly out here. That was pretty freaky, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we were getting some readings there that we wanted to get. It's kind of something that we were looking for, something that we could, you know, garner and relate to what would actually be going on in a building like that. I mean, to have the word Doug come back through again. My second time here, there was a word came through Doug on the Perilous app, and I thought it meant, you know, like digging a grave, but I don't know, maybe the name was Doug. But again, being the mortuary, you would think that when somebody dies and they're going to be put in a grave, the grave gets dug. I don't know, maybe dug graves. Who knows?